Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahawah, Sham, Rawchaa, Sham, Qadash.
We'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. We'd like to say shalom to the elect and teaching the word and all true faith and sincerity. And once I hear again, you know, the prophesy the destruction of America, because what you see right before you is that we represent the end of this world, man. You know, we come here to tell you that we at the end of this system, the end of this run, the end of the influence, being in the suggestion of the so-called white man. You know, and as these events unfold throughout the planet Earth, it becomes more evident that's the case. You know, so matter of fact, we get on 2 Ezra, the 9th chapter, starting the first verse.
2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told you before.
And that's how we measure the time. By the same, you know, how do we know that we at the end of this world? By these events unfold what the planet Earth. Matter of fact, somebody get that St. Luke 24 chapter. Matter of fact, it's like it on St. Luke 21. You started on St. Luke 21, you started like 7, and we'll jump down to like 25.
I got you. This is St. Luke 21 and 7.
Come on, yo.
And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be?
Yeah, meaning what? The end of this world, the end of this age. It's not the end of the world blowing up itself. Not the end of this generation, so to speak. Concerning this time period. We translate to this kingdom, this rulership, this empire that's about to come to an end.
And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass?
See, and what sign shall it be when these things shall come to pass?
Verse 25 says, and there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth.
See, it says and. So meaning what? These things are going to take place simultaneously. This is not an every once in a while thing. You know, we just came out of what, a blue moon now. It's more chariot sightings. Yep, the BRICS nations. You know, you got the different signs in the heavens. You know, the different eclipses, the planetary alignments. As I mentioned, the chariot sightings. It says as well as on the earth as well. You know, signs on earth.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, the 6th chapter, the 20th verse. It says, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens.
See? When it begin to vanish, that's what we see in the world passing away, the lust thereof. It's beginning to fade, it's weakening, it's languishing. Now the tokens are being made manifest.
Yep, it says the books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together.
And that's what you're saying. We're making sense of the scriptures, because this is a time where it was going to make sense. As we mentioned, the arrows, talking about the arrow, it makes sense now. What else could it be but the missiles, man? You know?
The Wagner and his veracity couldn't have made sense because of his.
Oh, what Daniel, the book of Daniel says here, book to the time of the end. Because that's when it was meant to be read. And once it's read, we declare it. And God said, in your lifetime, that's when it's going to take place.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom.
See, this gospel, meaning it's going to be the true doctrine of Yahawashi to go forth throughout the planet Earth. That was going to cause things to budge forth. Talks about how the Lord's going to rain down prophecy, and in that was going to make things to happen. But he said this gospel shows you that the word had to be, the truth had to be unlocked and declared, because Christianity was well known. But Hamites into it, you got Moabites and shit preaching, JC. But that ain't did shit. But more wickedness to come forth. But as you see, this gospel that's being preached, as brother mentioned, the Qur'an, us declaring that now you sin, man. Yeah.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
And that's right. That's what the gospel is talking about. The end. That's what we're preaching. The end, man. The end of this world. The end of this society. The end of this system. The end of the world. The most wickedest kingdom ever erected. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's what this gospel. This is the good news, man. And this is Exhibit 8.
And no word.
It said the end of Esau. That's what that is. The time of the Gentile battlefield. You know, the end of that statue. That's the end of Esau, man. Yep, legs. You know. But it said this gospel, once it's preached and proclaimed throughout the earth, the Lord is using YouTube to, you know, carry the bulk of it. And that was going to bring forth the end. Matter of fact, what's that? 2 Peter going to Noah, because Noah represented the end of that word. When you see, I think that's 2 Peter, 2 Peter 2.
Second Peter 2.
Because white people was not abiding by their own rules. See, white men were going into restaurants and not washing their hands. So he couldn't even open up that subject. And Shuttleworth had it by the balls.
You need to buy that.
And on the resort was violent. And Shuttleworth said, you bring all the violence you want, and we'll take it. Ooh, Lester Maddox, George Wallace, they couldn't say a word about the site. But they predicted COVID. He said, you know what, Reverend Martin Luther King, one day,
2 Peter 2 and 5. And spare not the old world, but save Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness.
See, it said, and spare not the old world, but say Noah, a preacher of righteousness. Why? Because Noah was preaching the end of that world by the way of that flood, man. He represented the end of that system, that run, that spirit. You know, because what he was preaching, the end of that flood coming. Matter of fact, you got it.
Bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly.
See, bringing in the flood. So that's, yeah, it had to be declared first. And that's what you see. Yahawashi outside declaring the end of the so-called white man, the end of America, the end of wickedness that you see today, man. You know? So, if anybody ain't got that.
Matthew 24 and verse 32. Now learn the parable of the fig tree. When its branch is yet tender and put forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh.
So the Lord's giving us something tangible to look at. We see a fig tree and it's beginning to bud forth and begin to show. You see it now. The fruit and you know, now you know what time we in. You know that summer is not. And that show you that it's a sense of urgency, you know, that you should have when you come to this, man. Because the Lord ain't just letting you know you an Israelite, man. No, it's the spirit of the Passover used to be on you know, being girded, boots tied up, you know, ready to go. Because you're ready to get the fuck out of here. You know? So we see that things take place on the earth. We know that the return of Yahawashi is not. Yeah?
So likewise, ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door.
See? So when we see, now we see it. Going back to 2nd Ezra, you're going to understand the time that we're in when you see these things take place upon the planet Earth. Once you see these prophecies bud forth. You know?
And that applied in the old world that the brother going into. The flood, that was a point where the rain began to descend upon the earth. They actually saw the Lord said. So by that same word, the prophecy is going to come to pass. we was given charge to expound on what's that, Matthew? Scripture speaks about teaching all nations to observe whatsoever things I command the people. When you go into that word observe, it means to look upon with the eye. Some along those lines. Meaning what? The prophecy is going to physically manifest. Yeah, the stage set for the see here.
This is Job 22:15. Hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden, which were cut down out of time, whose foundation was overthrown with the flood? And that's the wicked way. There go that word mark. But this one is marked to observe. We observe through the scriptures some of the ways in which the Lord did away with millions of people before. Right? Now we got people in power who want to talk about depopulation. And the Lord already had established a form of depopulation in the ancient world, which we mark. It says, hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden? So what was their wickedness? Unbelief. Wickedness or unbelief is strong, man. You know, the scriptures say, you know, don't be with the incredulity of those that don't believe. Yeah, don't let that trouble you. Unbelief is what cause, you know, will basically allow all of these people to be destroyed. Unbelief in this realm will cause a lot of people to be destroyed. It says, hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden, which were cut down out of time? Meaning, there's a time. The Lord has an appointment, right? The scriptures tell you about in Habakkuk, 2nd chapter. The vision is there for an appointed time. So there's an appointment already for this vision, for this time to be cut off. It says, which were cut down out of time, whose foundation was overthrown with the flood. So you can't put that on any other. You gotta zero in and lock into Noah now. Noah in the flood, and how all them people got cut out of time because they had a spirit of unbelief on which is wicked to the Heavenly Father. He requires that you believe. Without faith, it's impossible to please the Heavenly Father. So we coming back to Him with faith, man.
That's an actual commandment. Back in Romans 3rd chapter. Go on faith. So once the report goes forth, it will behoove you to believe it. Because if not, it will cost you your life. So the incredulity of them, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee. Why? Because they shall die in their unbelief. So believing on the report is a form of keeping the law. That's the Romans 3rd chapter. Yep,
we're backing you up. Hebrews 11:6, what you quoted. But without faith, it is impossible to please Him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him.
Right, and that's the climax of the story. Being delivered from the destruction, being kept, preserved from the sad peril. But that desire is initiated by knowing, first and foremost, that the Most High exists. That there's an orchestrator, if you will. And because even Christianity, as many as Bibles is in the church, right? Bibles everywhere. They don't know that there's forces at work that control their very breath. Coming and going in men. From the extreme of world disputes to something as subtle as two niggas in a fist fight. Yahawah control them. Hey, that's a heavy, you're on the level when you don't have to know all the deep, you're on the level when you know that, man. But that puts you on the level, man. To know that there's a power that controls every moving component part of life and existence.
In Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Scrolls G 5495, it says, upholding in upholding and preserving the Most High is present, protecting and aiding one another. It says, definition D, in determining and controlling the destinies of men. So your fate is in the hand of Yahawashi. He seals your instruction while you sleep, man. There is no free will. Everybody's falling to their lap. So it's the Lord Yahawashi who fashions you to understand this truth and fashions you not to understand this truth, man. You know?
Hey, prophecy itself lets you know ain't no free will.
Yeah.
The Lord declaring future events. So they show you that He the one that lining everything up. You know?
This is 2 Chronicles 15 and 6. And nation was destroyed of nation, and city of city. For Yahawah did vex them with all adversity. When you think about it, there goes nations is destroying themselves, cities is destroying themselves, attacking themselves. But it gives all credence to Yahawah. It says Yahawah, and for Yahawah, the reason why this is happening, for Yahawah did vex them with all adversity. When the Lord want to plague you, it don't matter who you are. You're going through hell. You're going to have to fight your way out of it. You're going to have to claw, tooth and nail out of it. Because the Lord going to send the vexation to you. It said, be ye strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. So all we got is that faith. That lets us know that there's a reward for those that are diligent and stand fast throughout all these trials and adversities. We know they come. We know about BRICS and NATO, what that's going to lead up to. Europe dealing with Russia and Ukraine, what that's going to lead up to. The Lord's about to play with adversity.
But if I may, the word adversity goes hand in hand with resistance. So the Lord is pretty much resisting, first and foremost, the advances of Esau. The scripture speaks about how the Lord will turn them backwards. And even once they reach that certain plateau, well, even in that, when he's sitting down to fill his belly, the Lord's going to rain upon him destruction, man. So the Lord is resisting anything outside of his will right now. Even Jake, with your plans to build up the community, and all that is going to be resisted, man. The only thing that's going to endure is the will of Yahawashi, which entails the new world, the kingdom of heaven being established. And its current existence where wickedness is premium, that's going to be moved out of the way. Any other thought outside of that will be brought into captivity. It will be made none and void. Yeah, the obedience of the Lord. Yeah, because your desires will in no wise offset the intents and purposes of Yahawashi.
This is the book of Proverbs 19 to 21. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand.
Yeah.
There's prophecy in this stuff. Rawchaa and his intention, his pleasure. That's what's going to take place. Even you thinking you finna go somewhere to just to be disappointed. For example, Esau, the Lord had his man down some way just for he could be upset. Why? Because that's the counsel of the Lord. Whatever, these people, they plan for America to continue. Anything else outside of prophecy is not going to take place. That's why our prayer is part with prophecy. We hope, pray to be kept from the family. Pray for the Edomites to go down. For the sea help to come and us to be kept from it. Not for, to be well established here, they got live.
America to make a comeback.
Yeah, for Trump to be the president.
Yeah, Trump to get back so nigga can get another stimulus package. No, the will of Yahawashi from outside is going to stand. That means the famine's coming. That means there's going to be power outages. Look up that word stand right there by the side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, precept?
Yeah. This is Numbers chapter 23 and verse 19. The Most High is not a man that he should lie.
Right, and that complements Romans the 3rd chapter as well. Let the Most High be true and every man a liar. Leaning with your vain opinions hold no weight in this counsel. Man. You might be adamant about seeing America persist. And it could be driven by your love of your family, your little ones, or some emotional attachment. But guess what? Again, that's not going to override prophecy. Imagine how many people didn't want the flood to come. The flood upset a lot of plans, yeah. Right, yeah.
Well, you watch the movie Green Acres. I'm just playing off of that. The movie Green Acres, they showed, Jake going dicing. There's nothing new under the sun.
Green pastures.
Yeah, Green
Green
Pastures,
Pass.
1937.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah. The scripture even tells you they were rolling the dice.
Yup,
Casting lots, yeah. Even in the time of Yahawashi, nothing new under the sun, right? And because with the naked eye, one would perceive that the old world consisted of cavemen, bang your head, bang your woman over the head and plug into a cave, laid down with her. When you read, is that Matthew, the 26th chapter? It speaks about when Yahawashi made mention of the flood and the parallels of the old world, just as in the days of Noah. We don't have to get it, but Matthew 24. Right, as in the days of Noah. He said they was eating, they was drinking, they was banqueting. Pretty much it was functioning as if it is now. Man. So the flood upset a lot of people's plans. Desires. A lot of people were adamant about certain things which would fit, their agenda or plans. Guess what? The flood came and offset all of it. The Lord wasn't concerned about their thoughts or their reasons or their presentation. That's why the scripture says that every man be a liar. Read that again. Oh, you got one.
Isaiah 30 said, prophesy not unto good things, prophesy deceits. Lies, because they don't want to hear America being on. They don't want to hear anything concerning their disruption of life that they see.
Real quick, that's why the scripture say, backing you up, that's why the scripture say the vision that you speak unto us is far off. Like you said. Because when you like the elder just spoke of earlier, the almighty famine, when you speak of the famine, one would say, hold up, how are you telling us it's going to be a drought of food and water when I can turn my faucet on? I can go to the store and get bottled water. I can go to McDonald's and get whatever special that they got there. Mac Grill. Yeah, the Travis Scott burger. Extra peppers. Right? So it's no famine. So what they saying is the vision that you prophesying, what you saying before, that shit is afar off, man. It's not gonna happen in our lifetime. That's what they're saying.
Well, really they're saying it ain't close.
It ain't close to this.
Right. Somebody saying way off.
Way off.
Yeah. They ain't acknowledging that it's gonna happen.
In their life,
yeah, bro. They saying that it's not
gone.
Distant
future. Yeah.
It's not considered. What would you
imminent.
You can't grab hold of it. You can't wrap your mind around. It's not something that's there and accessible. Yeah, a plausible thing. It's a far off, man. That's outside of their reason.
It's not urgent.
Yeah.
It's not an urgent message. It's a good message.
It's a good message, bro.
It's good.
It's not
y'all
realistic.
doing it good.
It's not realistic. It's not realistic.
Yeah. You know what they call that? That's a impediment in your learning process. They call it normalcy bias. And any bias is going to stop you from actually taking a good, clear look and examining for real what's going on. Normalcy bias means since everything's been going this way so far in my life, it's going to continue to go like this.
That's what they say. That's why I definitely say that. Continue, they're right. Where the promise on our company. That's the mindset of a 2/3 because what the elder saying, they don't have vision, they lack vision, man.
Yep, human nature, right? It gravitates to something that's normal. If it's something that you don't really, human nature, right? And that's the flesh, pretty much. That's operating in the flesh. You see something that you're not familiar with, you shun it, you reject it. You don't welcome it, right? Because it's based upon, like the elder said, that normalcy bias. So what we're saying is pretty much out of this
Out
Out
of
of
their
this world,
way.
right?
Yeah.
It's outside of the box. You know?
It's out of the comprehension
Right.
of their mind.
I can't, when somebody don't actually say, I can't see that.
Yeah. I can't see that.
I can't see that.
I can't see
That's
that.
the vision being far off.
And the reason why they can't see it, they ain't got the spirit of Yahawashi. Right? It's a wall. It's a wall right there, man. You know, they can't see over it, under it, or around it. You know what I mean? It's blocked.
There's no vision.
There's no vision if people perish, man. So they have no vision, so they're gonna perish, man. You know, because the Most High have sent them a strong delusion, and that's compatible to that block, right? Like I said, they can't see over it, under it, or around it. But we got the spirit of Yahawashi that gives us the vision to see through that block. You see what I'm saying? That's it. X-ray vision, bro. So that makes us what? Superman. Go ahead, bro. You gotta double up.
Son, this is Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse 27. Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision he seeth is for many days to come.
Hey, the vision that he sees, meaning the visions, that's why they say speak unto the smooth things, man. Because we're telling them rough things, like Barak said, man. You know, we're giving you the true counsel of the Most High, right? Which is what? Massive destruction, mainly upon those that don't believe, man. Right? And those really are mainly those that don't believe that are telling us the vision that you speak. Read again, bro.
Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come. And he prophesieth of times that are afar off.
And he prophesying of times that are far off, meaning we're not going to see it. This is not going to happen in our lifetime. What are you talking about? This is going to happen eons past us. See?
Yeah, 2050.
Yeah, no, 30, 18, yeah, 30, 32, 18. No. This is going to happen, you know what I'm saying? This is going to happen in our time frame, in our realm, man, in our time. Right? Go ahead, bro.
Therefore say unto them, thus saith
So
the
this
Lord
is the Most High telling us what we're supposed to say to them when they give us this notion. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord power.
Yeah. Thus saith the Bible in this. Go ahead.
There shall none of my words be prolonged anymore. But
Right, from this point on.
This going on.
Because back then, it was prolonged.
Right.
For an example, when you go, this is a big picture thing. When you go to, for an example, Deuteronomy in the 28th chapter, those curses was afar off. But now we're in the time, you ain't going to have objective knowledge that this right, but it's going to be, this is a big picture thing. When you go back, for an example, when Moses brought down what Moses said when he brought down the commandments and the curses, he said, you ain't going to hear them. Yep, right? So those prophecies that fell upon them, what's that first Ezra? The first two. Let's go.
First Ezra 1 and 24. As for the things that came to pass in his time,
Right. The thing that came to pass in his time, go ahead.
they were written in former
They were
times.
written in former times. So when Jake, for an example, went over here in those ships, that was written years back. They was briefed on what was going to happen to them back with Noah. With Moses. But they looked at it as being far off, man. But that's why the scriptures say, now in this lifetime, it would not be prolonged. It ain't going to be like it was when Moses told them that, then thousands of years later. No, in this lifetime, it's going to happen right now. That's why the Lord said, tell them it would not be prolonged. That means the ministry in this lifetime would be an instant. It's not like we're going to go into captivity. It's it right. Now go ahead.
He says, as for the things that came to pass in his time, they were written in former times.
Yep, go ahead.
Concerning those that sinned and did wickedly against the Lord.
And who is that? The Israelites. Because why? They was given the commandments, right? Which goes back into the wilderness. Everything goes back, the sun is back around to that. That's the big picture. Where?
Above all people in Canaan.
Yep, but they were the only ones who received the ordinance. Yeah.
And how they grieved him exceedingly, so that the words of the Lord rose up against Israel.
And when did the words rose up? Years later. But in this lifetime, the scripture says it won't be prolonged. So you're not going to have a Jake to come up and say, yeah, y'all right, but it's going to happen. No, it's really that's going into, back then, they thought that it was going to be a far off, which it was. We just read that. But let's go back to
Ezekiel chapter 12, verse 28. Therefore, say unto them, thus saith the Lord power.
Right. In this lifetime, right? Say unto them, go ahead.
There shall none of my words be prolonged anymore.
Right. So from this point forward, it won't be prolonged. As it was with Moses. Remember when Moses came down with and prophesied? That happened later. But now, not this. From this point in time, it's happening now. The famine is going to happen now. Remember, Moses told them to go into captivity. According to the law, they would be sent to another land. Right? That happened later. But the prophecies we speaking, the Quran, that's not going to happen 200 years away. Famine going to happen in your lifetime, right?
There shall none of my words be prolonged anymore, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord power.
See, it's going to stand. We're going to go to that word stand, but let's get this real quick. Just to prove the mindset, what the scripture's going into about Jake when they hear this, is going into the fact that they can't see past America. You're going to see that we read right here. Go ahead.
2 Peter 1 and 9. But he that lacketh these things is blind.
Yep, go ahead.
And cannot see afar off.
And cannot see afar off, meaning he don't have the spirit of prophecy. Go ahead.
And have forgotten that he was purged from his old sin.
Now look up that word afar. I think it's a phrase.
The phrase, you cannot see afar off, Strong's G, 3467. To see dimly.
Right, meaning they lack clarity. Go ahead.
See only what is near.
See only what is near. And what is near? America, Babylon the Great. Your job is what's near. Your reality of Christmas or things that you can tangibly touch, that's near. Far off, that definitely is far off. Right, and you see when that links back, it goes all the way back into the prophecies even to this very moment. So when they say it's a far off, right, that means that it's based upon what their reality centers around. They ain't used to seeing a society where there's a draconian overtone to it, where you're told to do, you can't, you know what I mean? See how they bugged out when the lockdown came. So imagine when we get into the extreme of no food, no power. That's something that they can't see because they can only see this. That's why the scripture says they not see it far off. Right, yeah, matter of fact, yeah, let's get that as well. We got something else over here? Now I want to look up that word, stand, what you brought out. So yeah, we've been given the power, the ability to see into the future. This is what the people lack. And it's heavy. You can't convince someone to see what we see. This is spiritual, man. But that element of faith has to be in there. And that's why you can only believe what you really see. You know, somebody say, I got to see it to believe it. So what they see, this, that's why they can believe it. But the substance of faith is the things not seen. This is a powerful trance we're in. This is not random, you just wake up to learn a couple of things. You're in a heavy trance when you really believe in the future so much to where you're willing to upset the natural order that you ain't going to Thanksgiving dinner no more. See that? That means you're in a heavy trance. You are truly in the spirit of Yahawah, Yahawashi. That's what it means to walk in the light, meaning your existence revolves around the precepts, which is the prophecy.
Quicken.
Yeah, quicken, right.
Quicken, made alive.
You made alive.
Yeah.
Right, because those who died, who are dead, they in the grave. That's where they lie. So Americans, they talk about dead bodies should be in the grave. A dead body shouldn't be out here alone. It should be in the grave. So that's why the bodies here, they cool to be in here. Because it fits their existing. If you wake up alive, you come running after more. You don't want no parts in them. Right, yeah.
Trying to figure where to live in.
Right, yeah, you trying to go to the land of the living. I remember when they died, when they was in the grave, and they rose from the grave, and they went and presented themselves in the city. Yeah? So, hey, spiritually, that's what happened with us. Our graves was open, and we went and presented ourselves, right, into the city. Remember Yahawashi, even when he healed the blind man, it was set up, right? Yahawashi said, don't say that, because it was the secret overtone to it. But the guy couldn't keep it a secret. He went and presented himself. Look, I can see. I can't not tell you I can't see now. Right? So when we woke up and got our eyes, we had to come out and present ourselves to the city. We can see the future. America gonna be destroyed, man.
You see it so clear.
Right, and we got another reason. Yeah. Let's get that again. Another reason we can.
We can see it that clear.
Right, and that's clear.
That's as clear as it gets. Right now.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna get clear to this.
Talk about the path of the
I
just.
was just thinking about it. Yep, our eyes are becoming more and more. That light strengthens the eyes. Your eyes have power, but the darkness weakens it. The light complements your eyes. Once you turn the light on, it works in conjunction with one another. The light strengthens your eyes. So what you really couldn't see in the dark, that light strengthens. So the prophecy radiating and going forth strengthens our eyes. We see the future more and more clearly.
Right, reveals.
Right, it reveals. Yep.
Revelation 3 and 18, it says, I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see.
Can I say one thing? The other just presented, right? With your eyes being able to see. If somebody, and most people are like this, they can't see the words on that sign down there, they're going to say, I can't see. They're not talking about if they can read right in front of them. Most people can't. Most people can see right in front of them, but when you can't see a distance, that's when they walk around and say, I can't see. So guess what? The distance is when you become 20/20. When your vision is clear, this is what you're looking at. When your vision is clear, you're going to see that MOTB coming from a mile away. You can see them with they CHIP programs, or naming this thing after CHIP. And you can see them with their digital. You can see them from around the corner, right? Or the X-ray vision through them little blocks that they try to put up. Or they want you to put their attention on Kardashian family and the latest album out, but you can see through that with his puppet masters putting these guys in places, man. And then you can see how the elites is really running things. You can see these men for who they are. And the Lord grants you the eyesight to be able to see it. Then you got the next step, which is when you see, you start to tell about it. The other said, make public. A lot of this is about proclaiming. Proclamation means to make it, say it loud. Cry upon the hilltops, the Lord said. Don't put your candle under a bushel. You got to expose that light. Not everything's exposed. One thing about light, it exposes everything.
Can I say too, the idea of occupying a watchtower, you see things way afar off, versus being at the bottom, right? You at the watchtower, you can see the troops forming before they even start coming. You start letting off that, you start telling everybody, you start letting off that going on, the trumpet. Why? Because you see the armies forming before they even come, because you can see way afar off, man. And that's being lifted up, right? Their staff being raised up from that dead state. That all falls under the banner of the high power.
I said watchman.
Yep, it's watchman. And what gives that watchman that power is the ability to see from on top. What's that, Jeremiah, 1st chapter? I have set thee above the nations.
You're going to that secret. And hold it in. St. Matthew the 10th chapter, verse 27. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light.
Right, yeah, so the Lord gave us the secrets, and we are now speaking them in light. Really, this is the light, even as it relates to the time and season we're in. This is the time where everything is being uncovered, right? What's the 8th chapter? There's nothing hidden, secret. And that goes hand in hand with the dynamic of the end. I often make this analogy. You consider a sporting event, let's say football. It's not clear at the beginning of the game. You might have your reservations, you might have a prediction, but at the end, everything is clear. You know whether it's going to be a blowout, you know, tie or going to overtime, you know, it's going to be down to the wire. It all takes fashion and form at the end. Right.
It says, what I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light. And what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetop.
Yep. That's the high tower. Right? So this is the housetops, which that idea is perfected through the internet. You know, you have satellites. What's that, Psalm 19?
Word going out.
Right, the word going out throughout the planet Earth. Matthew 24th chapter. So on and so forth.
That speculation that the elder was just pointing out, until the conclusion, until things have fully formed or manifested,
Right.
you're gonna have speculation. You're gonna have all type of ideas of how it's put in, like that game analogy. Before the game starts, everybody got their ideas on how it's gonna end.
Yeah.
Watch number 47. Watch him. He gonna
And he get carted off the field.
and he
You know what I mean?
on the first play. It's at the end. See, we not going off our own speculation.
Right.
That's where we coming from.
Right.
We going off the speculation that the Lord provided us, His own. That's how Yahawashi kept it. I'm here to do the will of my Father.
Right.
Anyone that does the will of my Father is my mother and brother. So we are on par with the way in which the Lord has designed for this thing to play out.
Right.
Y'all can come with y'all speculations all you want. It's not going to help.
Faithful witness.
Oh, yeah. Faithful witness. And that's heaven, man. When we go into the scriptures, that's pretty much Yahawashi bag. So at that point, the authority that comes through our words is sanctioned by the authority himself. See, this is what cements, this is what has sealed the fate of the Babylonians. All of it, so the 2/3, hey, the 2/3 is getting harder and harder to stomach, right? It's sin and their performance, man. That's why we know the time to take the protocols in there as well. Because who gonna feel the brunt of this? 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Oh, we were going into an article the other night, we was touching on power outages. And they said 2/3 of America. Yeah, the article said 2/3 of America will be under the threat of losing power, man. You can't make this stuff up. So the Lord set his sights on the niggas. You're not going to escape in this lifetime. That's it.
Sirach 3:24, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion.
Yep, and that goes into your outlook on things. I remember years ago, the one guy thought he had a drop the mic moment. He came on the coming board, and he said, "There's not that many Muslims in the world." And I asked him, I said, "Have you ever considered warheads?" And the nigga went scurrying off, right? Because to one Muslim, there's multiple warheads, right? So that's an example of where someone's vain opinion can overthrow them. Because it holds no weight. What makes it vain is not according to the word of the Heavenly Father, Yahawashi.
Going back to what you brought out in 2nd Ezra, it says, "Let not the imagination, fear not the incredulity of them that trouble." roughly paraphrasing, don't let the incredulity of them trouble thee. Right? Meaning what? Things that they conjure up in their mind and in their imagination.
Right.
Like you just said, this is not, they don't have any concrete evidence of what they're thinking. This is their own vain opinion.
Credit means trust. Incredulity means distrust. So don't let the disbelief or the unbelief or the distrust that they have for the Heavenly Father trouble you.
Right. Because hey, the verses is the believers against the non-believers. Was that Proverbs? Right. The righteous is an abomination unto the wicked, and the wicked is an abomination unto the righteous. The righteous is gonna be with faith. The wicked is gonna be without faith. Like the elders are going into, you can't let, okay, if a person don't have faith and they hear this report, he's gonna conjure up anything in his imagination to go against the believers, man.
Satan gonna help them.
That's right. Satan gonna help them. That's who. Satan start playing on their mind. Start giving them beliefs or ideas that's not concrete. Because it's nothing specified on what the scriptures laid down, meaning the foundation. It doesn't have a foundation, right? And then the foundation, without a foundation, is mixed with faithfulness. That's dangerous. Someone don't have a foundation and then you ain't got faith on top of that. So that's why motherfuckers say what they say when it's concerning the Lord's word and it's concerning what the prophets have put forth. And they say some outlandish shit, some shit that's far off.
Every idle word.
Every idol.
Yep.
Idol. That's the point. Idol word.
Yep. No substance whatsoever.
No substance whatsoever.
And you know what's heavy about that? Because what we're going into, these thoughts, really, they believe in it because it's based upon what they see. Remember, again, Hebrews the 11th chapter. The two extremes, right? But really, faith, as it applies to you keeping your perception, what you perceive, is based upon what you see, man. You know that you got 40 hours, you know what I mean? Right? You know how much you got in your account, right?
How much time you got?
Yeah. These are things that drive you people, tangible things. Again, we've been called to believe and unbelieve in the things that's not seen. Yeah, kind of. Remember,
Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 10, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And who are they deceived by? Esau, man. The God of this world. You know? It says,
it's like because the so-called white man painted a portrait for you. He pretty much created a replica of reality. And again, right, what we said is not an easy feat. That was wild. Right? You know what I mean? Yeah, because I made a short move. Like, in the block like that. But again, what we have been called into is nothing like. It's not like we marvel at the fact why you can't, operate like us. Because it's much easier to operate with unbelief because it's the reality that you see. See that? Yeah. You physically wake up and you physically see what's in front of you.
The God of this world has blinded them.
Right, yeah. God in this world has blinded them.
Yeah, you see something.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you see the light. Yeah.
Celestial moss, huh?
And blinded the minds of them which believe in that.
Hey, that got to be your slave, bro.
I definitely say, that's why.
Might be.
But it's like again, it says, blind the minds of them that believe not. Meaning what? Your belief or your unbelief, for that matter, is based upon Esau's reality. See, the God of this world blind the mind of them who believe not. See that? So your unbelief again centers around what the so-called white man presented in Pitts Montana.
That's one of his swords, if you will, or one of his weapons. One of his MO.
One of the chains.
Yep.
Like a chain to keep you locked in the house.
His chains, his deception.
Yeah.
Deception, man. Come on, what you think this movie industry exists for? To fucking entertain you, man?
Right.
For real?
All the music business. It sets up a false reality. These new rappers come out and they already got 100 million fucking followers. And fans. Fuck out of here, man. That's a ploy to keep you in further the real. That's why, again, cause them not to believe. They come up here, right? They might descend upon the camp physical or even a video. And they can't fully commit because deep down, they still believe Christmas is, they might hear you say the how holy days of Esau is wicked. Then they'll say, nah, I can't deal with your doctrine because sentimental values kick in. You remember the first time? Like this, the Christmas Up got released.
Big
crib.
Mariah Carey come on the radio and that's
Like,
it.
the nigga let these things like hold them back from the glorious light. Oh, the script, matter of fact, continue on that. Who read that 2 Corinthians, right? Okay, who read that 2 Corinthians report? The God of Israel blinded the mind of them that believe not. Right? And it goes on and says that the glorious light of the gospel may not shine unto them. So they'll never be able to get it because deep down they hold fast to something Esau instilled in them.
Go ahead. Before you hit it, just going back to what you just said, backing you up. 2 Corinthians 4:18, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Yeah, so now that goes back to Hebrews 11 chapter. We got real faith, man. Hebrews 11 chapter and verse 1. Faith is the evidence of things not seen, right? Yep. You sure. And the substance of things what? Hope for, right? So everything, like you said, that's why they say that the vision is yet for a point in time, man. Because they're judging everything according to what they can see right now, right before their eyes, man. What is that? Near sight and far sight, right? Far sight when you see everything closer, and near sight is when you see everything farther, right? So they're farsighted. They see everything that's right in their grasp, right at hands touch. But they can't see something that's really unthinkable, That's it, down the road, man.
They blind.
So that's true. That's blind.
Yep. That's right. If you supposed to, real vision gonna have you see
that's
right
true.
here and
that's
right
true,
there.
bro. That's true. That's real vision.
See what I'm saying? You might have all family members around you right here in this circle, but down there there's a sniper. So what you supposed to do if you can't see that sniper? You just gonna get hit. I got one to back him up real quick. Galatians 5:1, stand fast therefore in the liberty wherewith Yahawashi hath made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. All these your ability to not see in the near future where this earth as you know it is going to be changed and destroyed, nations fighting it, your ability not to see that is your bondage. That you are enslaved.
It's holding you back.
That's it. You're right, because you in bond, and bond means to tie up.
Right.
So you can't even construct a better idea than what comes in your mind because you can't see. You still in chains and you trying to run the mile. Imagine you got a ball and chain in your ankle. You set up to run the 100-meter relay. You gotta first separate that chain off you.
Chain gonna pull you right back.
They'll tangle it again.
Yeah.
And that chain gonna limit you. It only goes so far. If you try to exceed that limit, it's gonna violently pull your ass back to point A. Standard. Right.
best you're gonna get.
They all got contracts.
Yeah.
One thing you learn every day about a contract, you ain't learned nothing yet, it's binding. Binding, yep, bind. It's legal.
Yep.
But your politician taking oaths, but you making binding contracts. Something's up, man.
Look, you're not free. The only ones that's free is the elect. And that freedom is through our reason. St. John, right, in chapter 20, yep. You shall know the truth, and it shall make you free. And sword is what cuts you out of that net that Esau spread over. I remember, was it Clash of the Titans? Who the main guy in Clash of the Titans? The son of Zeus.
Perseus.
He cut his way out of that scorpion. That's what this truth is. Really was to cut us out of this entanglement. Yeah. Here, take this, trap. You got snared by Esau. Lord, the sword of the spirit. Okay? That's why the scripture says that you become entangled once again. To free you out of that is impossible. Seeing that you brought the Lord to an open shame. You know what's the best vivid illustration of that? Bringing the Lord to an open shame? Someone at a wedding who got stood up at a wedding. That's what it is. It's just a wedding. I mean, right? Exactly. Your bride and whatever. And somebody standing the bride up, that's an open shame.
Yahawashi is the bridegroom.
Right, that's the most shameful you can get.
It was a parable that the Yahawashi used about beckoning certain people to the marriage, calling certain people to the marriage, go out. And they was like the noble people of the earth at the time. But they didn't take it. So then he said, go out. Was it bait? Yep. Go out and get the rest. Now, the ones who wasn't first offered. And it's a parable going into how the Lord called it the Israelite foreigners who were Gentiles, and basically skipped over some of the Jews in Jerusalem because they couldn't see the vision. So he went to those that could see the vision, those that would come to the marriage, bid them to the marriage now, since they didn't want to come. You get passed over and skipped over real quick.
Yeah, but they lack vision, man. You just said. He went to the ones that had vision. Right? He didn't, which the ones that lacked vision, they was compatible to those other grounds. And the ones who had vision, they was compatible to the good ground. So like the elder saying, he skipped over those that didn't have vision and went to the ones that had vision. Those are the ones that was capable of housing the seed, and putting forth that seed and making that seed grow into a huge tree that was going to be capable of being a large to others, being food unto others, in the form of teaching.
That's the science behind the lamb, right? It's made for your disposal. Right? You can take the lamb, you can eat from that lamb. Take the covering off the lamb and cover yourself with it. But you can also take the ram horns and blow it. Go teach yourself. So the Lord sent us out as sheep. Be like a resource through the spirit of power of Yahawashi for you to survive off of.
2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 19, we have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto you do well, that you take heed.
Yeah, that's sure, right? Yeah. Sure word of prophecy, man. And why would I have to convince, like, read that with context? Why would I have to campaign and promote that? That's because it's going to be a heavy spirit of unbelief. If I tell somebody, look, man, I'm positive it's that way, that means I'm having a resistance to say that it's not that way. That's why the scripture said we have a more sure word. That's the scripture saying, look, believe us, because what we channel through the spirit and power of Yahawashi is based upon the intent of the highest power conceivable. So it's going to come to pass. Matter of fact, let's look up that word sure right now. You got it?
Strong's G 949. It says stable.
Right. Something that's steadfast, certain constancy. And the reason why this word is stable because it's built upon Yahawashi, the foundation, the cornerstone. That's what you want to build. Because everything else is built from vanity. Right? The scripture said faith is the substance versus that vain opinion, that emptiness versus that substance. So everything else is built upon hollow ground, sand. It's not going to stand. These Afrocentric niggas, these black conscious niggas, that's already the fun point. When you really go into it. The niggas that's getting caught up by that is just straight up dead. Niggas hoopers, black and mild and blunt and right. There's some niggas just a corpse.
I was thinking that all week. How can a nigga still smoke cigarettes?
Right,
2023.
Yeah. All them cigarettes, buddy. All these cigarettes did money. Yeah, this man.
12 cigarettes.
Good man. They have gold and silver. Like nigga go get some funny and shit like that.
It says fast, firm.
Right. Yeah, fast. When you fasten something, that means it can't be totaled. That's why Yahawashi said one jot, you know. That the smallest thing will be moved out of the place because everything is wet, fast, and sealed. That's heavy. Now, one thing don't be overlooked. God is thoroughly cleansing his breast and his floor. He's thoroughly searching out Esau. He's thoroughly bringing the order back to Israel. Yep, come on.
It says fast, firm.
Fast, real quick.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 11. The words of the wise are as gold and as nails fastened by the masters of assemblies.
Mm-hmm. By the masters of assemblies. God set up the teachers. We building on them. So in that, these words are fastened. What's being built is a reality. The kingdom of heaven is, we building the next reality through the word, and it's fastened.
Right, like I said, that word gold, you go back to cattle, gold is that stick, get them going back on the right track. So that's what the words of the Lord become. They become like a, sharp stick, hitting you, making sure that you're staying in the right place.
Placing everything in one. Everything. Matter of fact, real quick, go to Wisdom of Solomon, I want to say 8.
Speak on that fasten, right? Something that's secure, man. It's not movable. You know, that's the sure word of prophecy, man. You can't move. You can't replace this with nothing. You can't say it's not true. You can't move it. It's secure, man. You know, it's
Like the Quran was secure. Wishful thinking is not going to stop the Quran from being managed. That's sure.
sure.
That's sure word of prophecy. Right. That's touching Samuel. None of his words turned to the rock that they were fastened.
Solomon 8:09. Wisdom reaching from one end to another vital, and sweet doth she order all things.
See, sweetly doing she order all things. So that's the idea of a goal. So imagine having a goal that place that you saw in his place. The Lord is the controller of everything as touching order and everything being brought back to, this original And because that's what's going to happen. The Lord's going to bring everything to its original state. That's why the scripture says, seek out the old path, the prototype.
It says, we have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereas well, if you take heed, as unto a light that shines in a dark place, until the day done, and the day start arising in hearts.
That light, again, that's what strengthens our eyes. Because even when you read Isaiah the 6th chapter, it speaks about them having eyes to see light. They can see something, but they can't see the truth. Why? Because light is not consistent. Matter of fact, let's go to that 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter. The 3rd verse. We're going to go back. And see, the Lord is proving our case, man, because what we saw, what we foresaw, with the spirit and power of Yahawah is actually coming to pass. That's, you know, I said, oh, that looked like a CBS ahead. Right? I can conject. Like I said, that's a CBS, I'm pretty sure. But there's going to be a point where you're going to see the CBS, and that's going to go back to that credit, like you mentioned, that incredulity. Because Noah's, when it boiled down to it, Noah's words held no weight with the people. He didn't have credibility. So that, see what I'm saying? So that applies to now. Where the Lord is going to pretty much validate us by showing you people what we've been saying.
Prophet isn't accepted in his own town. To take a certain type of individuals who really believe on the report of the prophet.
Right.
And that separation is the gift. You see, the Most High is about his power, man. He know who he want and who he don't want. The Most High also have undesirables, man. Daniel 12:2, many shall wake out of the dust, some unto everlasting. That's right. Shame and contempt, some to life. Roughly paraphrasing the scripture. So he gave a gauge, man. He gave some that perfect gift, Ephesians 2:8, and some he deprived of that gift. Therefore, if you don't have the gift, you can't believe the report. If you can't believe the report, you can't take cover. And it's going to bring forth destruction. But those that believe the report due to the gift being instilled into them, they what? Foresee the evil, man, and hide themselves in the truth.
If I may, I'm sorry.
Real quick. Psalm 19 and verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. And we've been made wise unto salvation. You know, why? Because we've gone fast to the sure testimony of Yahawashi. Sure word of prophecy.
Scripture also speaks about that in Psalm 119. Find out, we'll get that as well. Because that testimony right there is not some foreign testimony as it relates to the testimony of Yahawashi. That's the same testimony. So just like Noah and his prediction, so to speak, came true, that was because it was sure. Being that it was the testimony of Yahawashi. That's why we just read the testimony of the Lord is sure. Well,
Psalm 119 and 152. Concerning thy testimonies, I have known of old that thou hast founded them forever.
see, founded, established, steadfast. So concerning our testimonies, they go back as far as forever. Right? This is not a new idea, even the fact that we out here introducing, bringing forth the Yahawashi, you know, carrying in our Lord. That's not a new idea. This happened spontaneously, you know, throughout the ages. The Lord would send forth prophets, telling his will.
Back you up. Jeremiah 28:8. Prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Yep, we continue in that legacy. His ministry, hey, Christianity shied off from it. It's right. It's swayed from it. Some left, right? modern idea of being a Christian has nothing to do with we just read as touching the oracles and their veracity. It was always meant to be presented in the form of violence, destruction, war, pestilence, evil.
Second Peter 1 and 21, it says, for the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man.
Spirit, see? So, yeah. Noah, right? Again. The prophecy didn't come based upon Israel. You know, his will, right? Or Noah just woke up pissed one day and went on a campaign to condemn the world.
You know who into the name where you're saying?
Right there. Just go down and get to your right.
Thank you.
Right. Yep, right.
For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of the Most High spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit.
Right, so you have certain spirits who was one of the lot of expounding on the prophecy. The scripture said it was holy, and they were set apart from the people. But really when you're going through it, that separation was here. Their reasoning was different. Even Isaiah made the statement, I am of the people of unclean lips. Yet I have seen the King of glory come along those lines. I mean, he was right in the midst of everybody else. But he was set apart based upon the spirit. And that's the way you got it. Because again, we've been going into this. You don't take long rags, then that means you're not set apart. You're just one of these people. You can't see what we see. You're just one of these people. You're not holy at that. What makes us holy is the idea that we can hold fast to these weighty form of weighty information.
It's new.
Right.
You got to think about why they call it the good news. It's
Right.
new. But it's new, it's future news.
That's why Isaiah 53 and 1 again. We don't believe the report. The report means the good news. Translated to the good news. And the coming of Yahawashi, coming of a new kingdom. They can't see that. You know, they too far Esau Edom's behind, man.
I was just about to say that. The fall of Esau. First and foremost, the fall of Esau. That's far beyond their reason. They can't see that. They can't see it. The very money that you worship got Esau on it. His face on it. Your reality of making it comes with you sitting in front of the so-called white man at the appointment, filling out an application, right? Your reality, everything, you do a workout to try out for the so-called white man. You want to be an NBA. The so-called, you got to sign your contract, you want to be an entertainer, right? So your desires and dreams centers around this man's existence. Right? That's why this is thing,
in conclusion, your destiny is whenever you can introduce to Esau.
Right,
However
right.
good you can butter up to Esau ass, that's your future.
Right.
In a nutshell. This is the word sanctuary. The word sanctuary described means protection or a safe place. Protection or a safe place. It says especially for someone or something being chased or hunted. When you really completely analyze your life, you are chased and hunted here in this society. That goes hand on par with the scriptures. What it say about Esau being a cunning hunter? What it say about your existence here, that you won't, you're going out and you're coming in? It's basically vexed, or you have a fear of, how's that go? You got a fear of not knowing when you're going, it's going to be lights out for you. It's part of the law. I forget how they word it.
Maybe them tornadoes.
It's basically
You should fear, not coming and going, but you should wish it was night. And when it's day, you should wish it was summer.
And then scripture. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Hanging down,
The lights are hanging down.
balance, something like that.
And another one say that Esau, he's not in trouble as other men. So letting you know, as long as you're gonna be in trouble. But the sanctuary go back to, right, a safe place, protection, especially, and we keep we keep bringing out that it plays out in your mind, right? It plays out with you being liberated with this information of a future world, of a world that's not here yet, right? As opposed to this present day captivity, we're going to be in a future rest. And the scripture tell you in Psalm 73, and this is the song of Asaph, right? He also mentioned early in the song that he was envious at the foolish when he saw the prosperity of the wicked. But he finished out in 17 and says, until I went into the sanctuary of Yahawah, then I understood their end. We talking about an end. We talking about an end of Esau. The elder just mentioned, everything you do is surrounded by Edomite's approval. If you can get an Edomite approval, you just make it to the next level in this truth. Okay. But Asaph said, I was envious, but when I walked into the sanctuary of the Most High,
Right.
Psalm 73.
Oh, that was you just reading?
I was reading from verse 15. I can get I can jump up. You want the whole thing? You got it? Go ahead, Al.
This is Psalms chapter 73, and verse 3. It says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked."
That's normal for Babylon, right? They took this heritage away from us, man. We was practically born into a situation we didn't have nothing. So the only thing we could observe, once again going to your eyes, is that Esau, the so-called white man, got it all. And the first reaction to that, unlearned, is that you become envious. You envious at the foolish. Why foolish? Because they don't. Even Asaph knew what pleased the Heavenly Father wasn't what they were doing, wasn't what the heathens was doing, but they were the foolish for that reason. They didn't believe in the highest power, they didn't believe in the true power, but they were in pleasures, they were living it up. That's how you examine a heathen today. So the error would be to be envious at him, but in all actuality, when you come into the sanctuary of the Heavenly Father, or the pavilion of the Heavenly Father, when your mind is quickened, and you understand you are liberated through Yahawashi blood, when you understand these things about future events and where you'll be at in them, then you can already, that cancels out that envious right away. It cancels out envy. This truth cancels out. There's no competition.
Right? That can apply to, yep. Because you said it, you hit it. With
big homie right here.
Yeah, but going back again, like you said it. See, the validation is, a summer house in the Hamptons, right? A late model car, whatever the so-called white man signed off on as being successful, right? Or whatever the so-called white man deemed as making $1 billion. Right, yeah. So now you find yourself envying these things when they hold no weight because it's temporary at best. So that's powerful in Psalm. Matter of fact, I think that's the 18th verse. It jumps down
to 17.
17, yeah.
Verse 17, it says, "Until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High, then understood I their end."
Right. So that applies even to us. Right. We needed some type of validation from what this society deemed as a standard. Until we came into this sanctuary.
We needed a safe space. Hey, that's a word that they use today, right? A safe space. Provide a safe space for a woman, and she'll love you forever. She'll be like, I feel so protected and safe.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I ain't made it up. It's facts. You got your safety from that man. But here it is. Sanctuary say protection or a safe place. So the Lord provide us a safe place, but we don't gotta be covetousness. Whatever. We ain't gotta covet. And the scriptures allude to real like peace of mind is when you don't covet it all. Be there, content therewith. With the godliness and contentment is great gain.
It's that daily bread. This truth, as long as you can wake up, as long as you can wake up and still digest this, that's all we need.
All right?
Yeah, that's all we need.
Your wants, fuck your wants, man.
Yeah.
What's your needs? Good word. You got that.
In Proverbs 23 and 17, let not thine heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day long.
Hey, that's another thing you develop. The perspective of understanding each nation got their time and rules. This Esau world. This nigga a moment in time. Right? So why would we want to divide the spoils with the wicked? See? When we have something much greater. See that? Yeah, call Halalyam like Yahawashi outside, man. Hey, that would go to that conference club and the motherfuckers stressed out because they running this rat race.
Yeah, trying
to keep up with Esau, and you chasing a ghost. You chasing literally, yeah, you chasing a ghost. And you thought you got it, you died, and you trying to reach it, and you fall off the cliff.
Yeah, and then you die, and you'll never reach.
Right.
It's dangling for the next person to go jump on. It's a pit. It's like you know how in Mario or something, you have to jump and get the coin, but the coin is over these spikes.
Right, yeah. And you have to be precise.
Like Steve Nichols. Hey man, you gotta let it. Some shit in this world, you gotta be okay to let it go.
Yeah.
Let everybody, and then you're going. Once you stop, you see everybody else jumping forward and falling in the pit. And damn, falling on you, Yahawashi, Sham. That could have been me.
And you know what? What's heavy about that? It's like a house of mirrors. This place is like the lighting. The lighting, right? The setting and the lighting cause you to see something that's not there. Right? And then you
jump.
Yeah. The lighting really is the information, the setting of the room. And you think you see, right? You see a graduation, a diploma, you know?
Hey, one of the things you see is Esau being more important than he actually is.
Right, yeah.
That's one of the mirages right there. You think Esau is like a god on earth for real.
He's the basis of men.
The basis of men, and the Lord gonna do away with him so-called. They said when he is gone, he's gonna be like young, dumb.
He made himself look in the sunlight like he was negative. It's a negative shit.
He's an unwanted gangster. He's like a player.
Right. You thought it was a gold negative, but it was an actual negative shit. He said that happened.
Proverbs chapter 23, verse 17. Let not thine heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Lord all day long.
Right.
For surely there is an end, and thine expectation shall not be cut off.
Right. So our expectation will be met. What's our expectation? To be delivered, man.
Hey, you know that music puts spirits on you, man. There's a lot of spirits.
That's a domestic violence. Yeah.
Waiting to happen.
Pre and post domestic violence. Before domestic violence and after it's all over.
So you want to set up a picnic, but then at the picnic you throw the wine because it ain't the right time.
Right.
All that work.
Yeah, this replica reality, man. It causes you don't really see the hidden danger. Oh, that's the idea of a maze, right? The maze itself turns you in whatever direction. So, see? So based upon this setting, you people are governed. The way you move is based upon what's laid out. Yeah, was it on that?
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, and verse 21. There are many devices in a man's heart, Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand.
Now, real quick, let's click on this word stand.
The word stand, it says, Quam, Strong's 8, 69, 65, to rise, stand, to arise in a hostile sense, become powerful.
Right, and that, you know what? That goes to that animation aspect of prophecy, where the words will actually come to life. See?
Come on the scene.
Yeah, come on the scene, right? So the words of the Lord will come on the scene. Meaning it will be in your sight. You're going to actually see the commodity take shape. The man-made level. You're going to actually see the sample. That's why, again, man, this thing really gets it. Oh, really?
That same song.
Well, I thought you said you think the same from chicken. So, now that's crazy.
You said the words coming to life. The words coming to life will really trip you out. You thought you was ready for shit. You said the words of the scriptures start to come to pass. And you ready to run like hell. You know what I mean? Because it's surreal. But you know what you gotta do, be steadfast. You gotta hold on. You're gonna watch all of this take shape. I'm looking at that 7
7-4, that's the pre-mercy, man. That's what we fight for, man. Right? Going to turn with the Lord.
It says, continuing that word, stand. It says to be established, be confirmed.
Yep, be confirmed, be established. That pretty much goes hand in hand with the attachment. The word, the attachment. It's not going anywhere. It went forth, and now it's going to take shape and form.
To be fixed, valid, be proven, be fulfilled.
Be fulfilled. That's what we at with. The word is reaching its full measure. Right? Because you could go back ages to see what the Lord, it's in the records what the Lord is going to deliver Israel, right? Case in point, Micah, the 4th chapter, where the Lord said we would go even to Babylon. This is where the main deliverance is going to happen. Right here in Babylon. And it says from there, that's like we would go into the field, and even to Babylon, and from Babylon, we would be delivered, we would be saved. Man. So that's the fulfillment, right? Read that part again.
It says to be proven, be fulfilled.
See, be fulfilled. So even, like I just mentioned, Micah, the 4th chapter, the 10th verse, we're in the time of that fulfillment. Where that promise, that oath sworn to our fathers, will be perfected. So, hey, like the elder said, everything takes shape and fashion, right? Let's say like a cat. You have a bobcat bagged up. It is a maturation before you go into the attack mode, right? It takes a certain form, you know, and then he raised up and he hissed before ultimately pouncing on him, right? Right, that's the maturation, that's the form, judgment taking shape. So yeah, we're in the midst of it. Right, World War III is forming. Missiles already on the scene. We ain't got to worry about missiles being made. We got to worry about, and it goes back to it not being prolonged anymore. This is the lifetime we got to worry about. Well, in the near future, going to be a time when you're going to have missiles to be made. Now, right here and right now, everything is being, prophecy is being facilitated and accommodated. Missiles in it. Concentration camps are already here, man. Right? How many microchip got manufactured? What they call it, microchip boom, or the chip act. They was running out of resources making the microchip. It's enough for them. Right? Oh, the prophets on the scene. 1 Corinthians, 4th chapter. The access to information at your fingertips, the technology to forward the word. Come on, man. This is it. Yeah, it's not going to go any further than these moments. Yahawashi coming back in this house. Hey, wrap your mind around that, man. Yahawashi coming back in all this splendor in this lifetime. That's the day you're going to wake up to Yahawashi. No way you can put that off. Was it any more of them?
Alright, it says to erect, build, to make mighty, carry out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the Lord carrying out his death threats. Many times of the Lord executing his word. This happens from time to time. You don't understand that. That the power of all the universe, he visits the earth. Right? The time of the Lord, he came and he gave the presence from the same earth, man. That happens from time to time. As in the days of Noah. So this is a scene the Lord reserved this generation to see that power and work of him. Revive that, what it say, in the midst of years? Revive that work. Bring it back to life.
Second Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then.
Wow. Oh, well, the brother just, there's a picture of Noah. It says a picture of Noah. There's a picture of Noah on the wall, man. Right? That's spirit. Hey, call on Yahawashi, man. And we expect to see miracles. And there's a lot of things that happen in the spirit lately, too. Real talk, like, it's like, damn. You know, oh, scripture say, whither shall I go from thy spirit? Whither shall I flee from thy presence? So our instincts have been heightened in this walk, man. The Lord, we see the Lord working, man, heavy. That's why we back out here, man. Through the spirit of power of Yahawashi outside. I will show you my faith by my work. So this is an indicator of us believing in the report. The fact that we back out here. Lord willing, during the week, we'll be uploading videos more. Then next Saturday, we back out here again. That's us showing our faith by those works.
Second Ezra 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told you before, which are the practices, man. You want to actually see these things come to pass.
Right.
They're going to be self-evident. So much so to prepare you to speak. And warn. It says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Obviously, the hurricanes, tornadoes, wildfire, you know. Also, you know, the Lord sending those chariots, you know, scouting out everything. You know,
That's the ancient prophets who don't ready to go. That's the Lord giving them working the world.
Saying that the world is a certain age too. You know, the earth is close. That age of being talking about how to live is a soft.
Yep, Jeremiah 29.
Point of time. Esau is going to be on the scene as that mountain. The Lord do it.
I should say unto this mountain. That's the build up tonight, man. The scriptures gave us an illustration of this takedown in the form of a great prince taking down this 7-headed, 5-breathing dragon. So that shows you that's the end, that's the climax of the movie. That's touching the nation, right? We all know that there's a vast future for Israel. Jacob is the beginning. But this thing is going to be top. The nations having dominion over the planet Earth. It caps off with the so-called white man. After this nigga reign of terror, no more.
Therefore, when there should have seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
They just had an earthquake out was it California? And it's been tremblers out here too. There's a fault line that runs through Alabama, Birmingham. From time to time you'll feel those tremblers. What?
Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before
See how everything revolves around prophecy? There's a point where you're going to well understand. And that clarity is going to be due to the unfolding of the prophecies playing out hand in hand with time itself. So as time progresses, the prophecies will spring forth, and you're going to say, oh, there's a vineyard. Simple as that. We see the seasons change based upon prophecy springing forth.
well, even from the beginning.
Yeah.
For like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
Read that point. Oh, did you make a point?
Yeah, that word manifest, being made clear to the eye or mind. You know?
As a matter of fact, let's look it up. And because the reason why I wanted to look it up is we looked up that phrase for sin not far off, and one of the definitions was dimly. So what contributes to your lack of understanding is you don't have the clarity. You don't have the lenses adjusted. You still look at the so-called white man as your avenger, as your helper, your provider. And really, he's your enemy. I saw one of the brothers, they put a post up when they went into this long line of offenses of Esau from them. I don't think they mentioned maybe the Tuskegee thing, the treacherous acts of slavery. For an example, remember they threw the guy in the scalding. That was a practice. They'll throw your ass into a scalding, boiling pot of water, skin your ass alive. We also found out too where they'll throw the kids, not only the gators, right, but also the hogs. See that? So you have, matter of fact, the brother, he went into the list and he said, so this the same man that cares about your health? Right? So this is the same guy that cares how, and it makes sense. This government strategically signed legislation to keep your ass in the hood. And there's certain communities out here where it's complete, just an open soul of this name for just, where they hit you with drug lottery. There's certain neighborhoods where they got drug lottery. But guess what? Your address there, like certain projects, with drug lottery in a certain area, but you live there, so if you might have to go out and get some air or whatever, you could potentially go down for drug lottery. But see, Jake look at that same man as the one that's going to assure them having a better future. All these hundreds of years, beat your ass down. You want to make sure you're good. But hey, that goes with not having your lenses adjusted.
The word manifest, Google definition, and read clear or obvious to the mind or eye. It's like clear, obvious to the eye or mind. Okay. Read the example sentence. It says the systems manifest failings.
Man, so they can't see the system. It's called the fall of the system. They have a dim outlook on things. You see Jason telling this, you seeing him dim, so he look like somebody coming to serve. Hey, coming to serve to a place. And he's coming to cut your head off. That's what the 2/3 of Israel have been diagnosed with. Blindness. That's what they say. Blindness. How does that play out in this lifetime? You're not able to see. The lines have been blurred. Man. You think that this is a perpetual reality. Yep, come on.
It says, for like all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginning and wonder. It says, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs.
And endings and effects and signs. And the only way you're going to be able to pick up on those effects and signs is with eyes to see. And what develops those eyes? The testimony of Yahawashi. Again, this is the light that strengthens our eyes. Right? So really, everybody is pondering their future, but they're not assisted with this light. So their future, the outlook of their future off. We ponder in the future through the lenses of Yahawashi. It's testimony. Right? This gives us a clear sight of things to come. Yeah, come on. Let's see something else.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah,
St. John 8:12, then spake Yahawashi again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness.
Right. How does that translate to now? It's testimony. That's the light. We have been enlightened through a particular form of teaching. That's why the scripture says, he will follow me. That translates to subscribing to this information. Go ahead.
But shall have the light of life.
Right. Light. Light. Because why? You're able to hide yourself. That's been the theme, right? We've been mentioning Proverbs 10:23. Who the man for sin and evil and hide himself. So this light breeds life. And although, let's say we have a brother to be killed in the truth, die in the faith. We have had that. These men who was laboring, who died in this thing. The scripture said we're not going to prevent them who had already died. Meaning their reward is established as well. They crowned it right there. So that life is going to be the life anyway. Though they seem to die in the sight of men. So not even death will prevent the world to come. These devils, they can set their sights on the prophet, put you to death. That's not going to somehow take away the crown. In the world to come, we're going to be governed over.
Back in 2nd Ezra chapter.
Psalm 145, verse 4. One generation shall praise thy works to another, and shall declare thy mighty acts. That's what you said. Mighty acts of Yahawashi. Speaking of the acts of old, to let you know the report checked out. It let you know, and this time it's not going to be. It's going to be the same results. We saying in the name of Yahawashi, this place is going to be overthrown. We seeing that process take place, man. And Lord had the men of old to come in. This time talks about the book of 2nd Ezra, first chapter. The Lord have set forth leaders, which are the prophets, man.
The scripture said we will be witnesses. Right? You shall be witnesses unto me. say, yeah, man, I remember when Yahawashi, no eyewitnesses based upon his testimony. So there's ancient spirits that were brought to this modern world and given charge to proclaim the kingdom of heaven. Come on.
I will speak of the glorious honor of thy majesty and of thy wondrous works. And men shall speak of the might of thy terrible acts, and I will declare thy greatness. The certain of the wondrous works of the Lord is the terrible acts. The Lord is known for his terrible judgments. You know, when you see the word works, you might think of creation on it. But that's a part of it. What's the Lord known for? These scenarios. That was a scenario that the Lord had. That was a work of Yahawah Sham. You know, use the locust, that's part of creation. They was part of that scenario. To show forth his power. And now we declare the terrible act the Lord will do in this time, this great famine. Ultimately, the results of the destruction of America. God and overthrow of Esau.
Can I say slave trade was a work? That was one of the wondrous works of the world. When devils came and rounded you up from the interior of West Africa. As graphic as that was, you ain't got the stomach to see that. That was a wondrous work of the Lord. World War III, that's going to be a wondrous work of the Lord. The Qadash, when they set up the shipping station. And you old niggas out there who was coming up against the old niggas who mean to us and don't understand it. Because you out there, everybody heard about the Qadash, all right? You know what you were doing? You was doubting us. You were behind the scenes. Guess what? You're going to be visited by that very people. There's going to be a chilling moment for a lot of these people. You're talking all that shit, and you get an email from your job. Before you can proceed any further, you got an appointment already set up. Now they're going to have that shit convenient. Just go to CBS, man. And fuck all that. Go to CBS and run the codes that we sent you. Yeah, and they're gonna have a package there. Activate the shit. Or whatever, man. That's gonna be a wonderful work of the Lord.
Second Ezra 9 and 7, and every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby you have believed.
See, you keep going back to that believing. This is what's going to preserve us, man. Belief. And because to believe in the doctrine, it doesn't start and stop there. It creates you believing and trusting in Yahawashi. Right? Remember, what's a great example of that? The three holy children. And then in the front they said, look, we're not too careful and careful what we're going to say to you. Just know this. If you do cast us in the furnace, our power is able to deliver. See that? So that's what you develop when you come into this. The unwavering, unmovable faith in the Yahawashi.
Well, chapter 2 and 10. And the generations of old. You see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded?
Man, that's bad, man. We just brought up an example of that. Oh, Daniel. Daniel was on the level, man. He believed in Yahawashi. He was beloved. He didn't come out of there surprised, like, I can't explain what happened. But for some reason, the lion didn't know. He was praying to Yahawashi, man. And Yahawashi, which is the hand of the Lord, shaped and formed a scenario which went into the records of the wondrous work.
God, it says, or did any abide in the spirit and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise?
Right, now what's that spirit? That you abide in information. So when you abide in it, the Lord is not going to forsake you. Remember Yahawashi said, people abide in me, and I in him. So throughout the duration of this thing, we're called to believe to the end, scripture says, hope unto the end. All right, come on.
Proverbs 14 and 26. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of rest.
Come on, man. Now, big picture, what's that going into? Let's talk about this lifetime. We are those children, man. Of those fathers who the Lord promised to be with always, even up to the end of the world. So again, the scriptures in its totality is a build up and down. All right, come on.
Yep. Backing up, Hebrews 10 and 35. It says, cast not away therefore your confidence, which have great recompense of reward.
If I may too, I think that their confidence, notice the thing that was in the records concerning Elisha, they're alive in the 400 prophets. And he doubted his wood, and he told him to pour the water on the wood because he knew Yahawah was behind him. He had confidence in the Lord. So that's faith on level, man. Yeah, he mocked the prophets.
Yeah, that's what we doing. If you believe in something so much, you're taught it. Right? See these athletes that believe that still, they're taught it. Right there. So our confidence is so strong that we even going to the schools.
Second Ezra 9 and 8, it says, shall be preserved from the said peril, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning.
Right, hey, predestination. That's an element that we can't overlook. Hey, that contributes to the fear too. Because when you are being picked, then it's out of your hand. You see someone, they might go to an audition, they might go to trial, and it's a moment, but they on pins and needles. Because they know that their fate is in the hands of someone else. Someone else has the final say, right? The decision of the matter. The verdict. So this thing about predestination, man, God already knows who he was going to deliver, who he was going to keep, who he was going to preserve. Come on.
Like you said, going back to predestination, that brings about fear of Yahawah by Sham Yahawashi. What is that? Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? Right? So the Most High gave the blueprint to Yahawashi, right? Just like a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like a movie director give this idea to a cast writer, right? So your role in this movie was already cast before the script was even written, man. Right? The Most High already knew what role he wanted you to play before everything was even, with lights, camera, action. Right? So that's why we want to give diligence. Quote it real quick. Call it the water. Right. So we got an idea of the end and where we want to be at the end, and then the action that's been told unto us how to assure that end that we're looking for is doing the work, man. So we want to make sure our destination in this thing of ours, man. But at the end of the day, the Most High is a power that should be feared because he controls your destination in this thing, man.
You just a prisoner of hope.
Just a prisoner of hope.
You just been woken up to the fact that you could possibly be over your neck.
Beautiful.
Now you're hoping that you cast into that life. But the one comfort is what? Like you mentioned earlier, that daily bread. Even guys in the truth. I ain't gonna say the truth. Guys in the truth. Simple thing teachers. You want to confess, have truth, understand the Bible. They'll translate that daily bread into just having something to eat every day. Now you can apply that, but hold up, what about, because the Lord, when he feeds us, that's a blessing. What about the fasting days? The days when you're required to fast. So that daily bread, daily, is you being able to maintain, hold down this bread without, without regurgitating that morsel. Speak about that.
Lamb.
Right, yeah.
Lamb.
That goes also into Yahawashi behind you, because he's the bread of life. So you have to be able to digest that daily bread, which is every day you have to be able to deal with Yahawashi. I'm gonna just say it like that.
Good days, bad days.
You're a wife, you got this austere guy. You got to wake up every day and figure out how to deal with it. I mean, you got to be able to deal with the Lord, man. Daily, all right? And you're blessed if you're able to wake up day in and day out with the Halalyam.
Every day ain't gonna be the same.
Right.
You know, days the sun gonna shine bright. Some days it's gonna rain all fucking day, man. And that's equivalent to what the other was just saying. You with this austere guy, you may wake up on the right side of the bed, you may wake up on the wrong side of the bed, but regardless of what side of the bed you wake up on, right, you're gonna have to be able to deal with it, man. You know, and if you within those cloudy days or the day you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, so to speak, you're gonna have to muster up the strength if you can to say, call all Yahawashi Yahawashi, man.
That's your power source.
That's your power source.
Yeah. And because you get certain perks. Yeah, you get certain perks off the name of your husband.
Like one would say in a carnal mindset, you know, when you was in the world before you knew better, one would say, man, you must be doing something wrong. You catching all that hell. I don't know what you believe in. You know, but coming into this truth, when you catch hell, man, you learn that what is Hebrews 12th chapter. He dealeth with you as he dealeth with sons, man. You know, roughly paraphrasing the scripture say, if you're not catching hell for real, what it's saying, if you're not catching hell, he don't deal, you ain't the son of the Most High. You know, that's what it's saying. So if you catching hell, you know, like the elder saying, just going back to those different days, you know, every day is different. You got to be able to deal with your house down all day. You know, you got to be in the mindset of when them days when the sun ain't shining, he's dealing with you the most. You know, because from those good days, you don't learn shit. Right? You may smile or whatever. You may feel okay. But the scripture also speaks about that the end of our joy is sadness, man. You know?
Come, 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 9. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments.
Right, yeah, the cast away words of the Lord despitefully, that offense lies at the foot of you 2/3. Because the Lord extended that peace offering and you rejected it. But you didn't just reject it, like diplomatically, so to speak. You did it despitefully because that was another one reference again. Remember when Yahawashi said, one can't hard have two masters. You either hear love for one, despise the other. So let's say like you got something really into, like you got a fucking raw you can't get your mind on. But then somebody else got something else for you to do. You're gonna hate that other outlet based upon the love you got for that raw or whatever thing you got your mind on. Fuck man, I got the niggas gonna, right? The love for that one thing is gonna mean hate for the other. Because that's keeping you from this. Hey, but yeah, vice versa, right? But on the flip side, we love the doctrine of Yahawashi so much, to where we hate everything that keeps us from it. See?
Proverbs 8, starting verse 35.
Yeah.
For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul.
Right, so you see what's at stake? What?
all that hate me love death.
That's it, man. So when you hate the doctrine, that means by default you love death. That's a whole statement right there. All those who hate me love death. Because outside of Yahawashi is nothing but death. So really that's where your love lies. See?
Going back to heaven said, outside of Yahawashi is death, right? St. John 1 and verse 4, it says, in him was life, right? It says, in him was life, and the life was the light of men. You know, going back to what you said earlier too about that light, man. You know, once Yahawashi light your candle through the mercy of the Most High, allowing him to do so, right? You got a chance to continue in the path of life, man. Right? Because you're not in the darkness no more. Right? You're in the know. Okay? And when you're in the know, it leads you on the right path, man. She good.
She'll run right on it.
That's all good. She go ahead. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Don't walk on it, no. Go around it.
She can walk on it. It's all good. All right. St. John 1. She want to listen. St. John 1 and verse 4, it says, in him was life, and the life was the light of men, and the light shine up in the darkness, and the darkness covered and it did not.
They go back to the original point we make it earlier. About being near.
That's it.
They can't wrap their mind around Abraham mean what they hold on with the mind.
With the mind. Yeah.
Because it's a thought that's far beyond their comprehension. The idea of Yahawashi and the angels, host of heaven. How could we expound on these things for someone who's God? Let's expound on the return of Yahawashi. And not just one of these blatant dead bodies. One of these guys who serve as a symbol of wisdom. A nigga with a tassel. You can't break through to them niggas around. You can't break their mind and get them to understand the strange teachings of Yahawashi. Why? Because they have been, I was going to say, even their conscience is defiled. The pure is only unto the pure. Right, those are defiled at all. It's unbelievable. There's nothing pure. Right? So that means everything that they touch is defiled. You know? Everything is tainted. And that goes really back to Esau. And where he had packaged, what's this, about 13? Whoso touches it shall be defiled therewith. So pretty much there's a blot, there's a stain on your reason. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Qadash.
Double honors to our teachers, the head apostles, the elders of the millstone. Shalom to the fellow neighbors out there. And God will believe in the Shalom.
Shalom, ETA, Bible, soon.
Very soon.